Alright, hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between WFZ versus SOC. This game taking place here on Last Refuge. Over here on the bottom left-hand side of the map, we have WFZ or WFZ, depending on where you hail from, spawning as the blue undead. Meanwhile, over here on the top right, and well, I need to make sure my audio extensions are good. Alright, there we go. Maybe I need to boost my mic up every so often. It feels like there we go. All right. Feels like the kids play with my soundboard, and then all of a sudden, the sound drops off a little bit more than it should. So maybe do I need to up my gain? My gain's pretty high too. Maybe I need to up it here. Yeah. Anyways. Alright, well, gonna be bringing in you a couple of games today. Eagle-eyed viewers will realize, yes, I am using the W3 Booster overlay. Thank you, W3 Booster, for doing things that, well, it feels like Blizzard should have had the time to do in creating proper overlays, and hopefully you guys will enjoy at least being able, or I will be able to quickly see what's going on up top, figuring out how many workers there are, how much the supply is, lumber, and all of those things right there. It also means that, well, if you guys just really want to watch the replay and mute me, I guess you still have all of the information that you really need to study the replays. So hopefully you guys aren't muting me just cuz, as we're looking at a Death Knight now making its way out, coming in from WFZ. Meanwhile, Archmage coming in from SOC. No big surprise there. Yes, you are the first one to join in today. Congratulations, you earn an internet gold star. As we're going to look back down across over here, what is going to end up happening? Well, there is an acolyte hiding off to the side here, perhaps waiting to see if a unit will be making its way down. Meanwhile, coming back around from the other side here, there is that footman making its way in. Death Knight. Death Knight has been trained up off over here. There you go. Gonna go ahead and make a bit of rounds as well. Level 1 Death Coil gonna be off, ready to go. Gonna try and clear out. Is he gonna try and clear out some of these creep camps? I do believe so. Going straight after this Forest Troll High Priest. There you are. There is an acolyte even joining in on the fight. Acolyte, by attacking this one unit off over here, is actually making the Forest Troll High Priest try and buff and heal up this unit instead of healing up himself. That is a bit of a difference there, making it that much more difficult. That Acolyte actually shaving a couple of seconds off of that creep camp. Meanwhile, coming back off to the other side, Archmage gonna go ahead and finish off this Murloc Huntsman. We see a couple of Tide Runners gonna fall as well, as the Archmage is already sitting at level 2. Death Knight now making its way off to the north here. 4 skeletal minions, that is it. Overall army supply, 14 supply compared to 15, but that is a little bit confusing coming in from the undead, since ghouls are considered army units and workers as well. Skeletal minions not going to be making its way over. Are going to be able to finish off any of those units? Yes, they are. Death Knight, I don't believe, got any experience, though, as we're going to see a skeletal minion get cleaned up right here. We are looking at an illusion, well, difficult to try and keep track of, as this Forest Troll Trapper looks like it will get taken down, and the Death Coil was late. Yeah, it didn't look like WFZ really had a chance there, or perhaps SOC was perhaps a little bit late there as well. We are looking at the units making their way back off to the north. Skeletal minions rejoining in on the fight. Illusion just keeping track of that Death Knight, as the militia are already making their way across to try and help clear out this expansion. Death Knight taking quite a bit of damage. There's the Death Coil. He does get that little bit of gold here, as the Death Knight is currently on cooldown. Is it going to be able to? Yes, will be able to get off another Death Coil here. There, gets to level 2. And now, without any more mana, well, the Ogre Magi will fall to SOC. Alright, a little bit of damage there. Skeletal minions could take a lot of damage as well. Once more, if this gives level 3 to the Archmage, that could be a big deal indeed. Alright, Archmage now trying to make its way back down. Skeletal minions just going to shift on over as well. Flower Crown Claws. What? What? Did little flowers get added to the claws? I know I didn't do that. Is that how they changed my little icon, just my little emote? I was just playing around with that. I used channel points to modify it for 24 hours. Alright. I was gonna say, if somehow Twitch or Chinese censorship even got to my emote, then, well, I must respect the great China firewall and their extensive reach if they got to add flowers to the bloody claws. Archmage now making its way back down across here. Water Elemental waiting to just absorb damage. And it's just absorbing the damage. It's not attacking. And this may actually be on purpose because it doesn't want to accidentally get purged. New interface. Sorry, I'm late. Yeah, I was... well, WarCraft W3 Booster. The overlay was provided by them. And it is actually a very, very nice overlay. I do appreciate it very much. It does a lot of the things that I believe Blizzard should have been able to do and build in build into Reforge. And just a lot of proper tools for casting. I don't have the pro version right now. There is a monthly cost to it, but I am curious as to what the pro version does. And whether or not it is really worth it. And with that said, well, everything is down right now, or not, well, views are down, or not views are down, but income is down, and I'm barely breaking even casting or making minimum wage. Anyways, Death Knight now making its way back around. For all of you guys who are on Patreon and have been supporting me, thank you very much. It does help out a lot. It makes it a little bit, well, it gives me a little bit more reason to continue to cast and, well, at least pay for some of the bills. You know, need to have higher internet speeds if I'm trying to upload 3 or, 10 gigabytes of videos a day. Anyways, Death Knight now trying to sneak on in. Footman will get taken down. That big Frost Nova hitting that coil, hitting that group of units right there. Footman getting taken down by that level 2 Death Coil once more. New overlay. Yep, hype. It is from W3 Booster, so hopefully you guys do like it. I actually spent the time to experiment with it. Surprisingly, I had the overlay and everything already for quite a bit of time. I just didn't I didn't take the time to actually try and figure out how to use it. So there you go, spending a little bit more time for you, and hopefully you guys do enjoy it. Good items to go around right there. Yeah, it is not mine. Thank W3 Booster. I don't know if you guys out there want to support them. They definitely put in a lot of work into making something look as good and professional as this without well, and it's a very, very small niche market. It's not like there's that many people who really want a nice overlay and spend the time, energy, and effort. Right, Footman going to go ahead and try and dive on him, going straight after the Tomb of Relics. Acolyte going to be making their way over here as the Footman will really just overexpose here. Sock and maybe, well, regretting this decision as he is ending up taking a lot of losses here. Footman both taken down here. Water Elemental now trying to make its way back north. It's going to try to sneak on in, but it's just going to end up giving additional experience to the Lich and the Death Knight as well. 29 experience here as the Lich. Now going to go ahead and just fight on Blight. Archmage heading back off to the north here. This is Sock versus WFZ as we're looking at the Archmage now shifting back off to the north again. Maybe, yeah, so what? You can't read the Chinese? You can't tell that that's WFZ? Archmage now making its way back around. Double Gloves of Haste, Ring of Protection, Staff of Teleportation, and Boots of Speed on that Archmage. Waiting to see another hero coming in from the human as he is just now getting into keep. Death Knight now looking to back away. Has a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability and is going to be able to shift back. The Lich, as you can see, is going to get to level 3 right here. There you go. And now finishing off the remaining Forest Troll Berserkers. We do see triple Obsidian statues as well. And are we going to be getting an additional one? No, going straight into Destroyer. So we may have a push on all of these towers off to the north. Now that Destroyers were, well, nerfed a little bit, it feels like human players don't respect or are not nearly as scared of those Destroyers any longer and their splash damage. So a timing push with those Destroyers may still end up working out. Destroyer up in the air, 466 hit points. Meanwhile, Archmage back down across, once again bringing in Footman. And I am surprised at the number. Thank you for, I think that's a subscribe. Thank you for the subscription there, as the Death Knight now trying to make its way in. All right, Death Knight going to go ahead and try and join in on the fight. Destroyer is right there. There's a large Frost Nova. Destroyer with major amount of damage can easily chase down many of those units. Footman with massive slow, as we're going to see this Footman perhaps try to get taken down here. We are looking at a little bit more damage. Death Knight and 3 more Footmen lost. WFZ just getting a large amount of experience, a crazy amount of experience right now. Meanwhile, rest in peace on those footies. It looks like Sok is just feeding his opponent a whole bunch of experience. Now, we can see that there's a large amount of gold, 1,300 gold sitting in the bank of the human player, but unless he's properly training the right units, it's not going to go well for him. We are nearing tier 3, and it looks like all that Sok is trying to do is contain his opponent. Destroyer currently out onto the field as well. There is no Meat Wagon. Pit Lord is out. Are we going to see the Howl of Terror Devour magic strategy, as that was used in the past? What would happen is that the Pit Lord would use Howl of Terror, and then the Destroyer would just come in and devour it, as it was about to end, healing damage on the Destroyer, giving mana and increasing its damage as well, thereby debuffing your own. Instead, we are not looking at that. Instead, we are looking at the Pit Lord getting, well, Rain of Fire instead, dealing large amounts of damage and perhaps trying to take down the guard towers here. Destroyer attempting to back up again, but once again, without Meat Wagons, it just isn't going to work out that well. Destroyers continuing to fight it through here. Meanwhile, Archmage, Mountain King, and Dragonhawk Riders really not caring that this Town Hall is under a bit of duress. And Pit Lord perhaps waiting to get in a little bit more mana, will be able to perhaps cast in a Rain of Fire from the side away from that Arcane Tower. And there you go. Are we perhaps going to even see that? Oh, trying to take down that Footman. There you go. There's that Rain of Fire right on the side there. A little bit of damage on that guard tower. Dragonhawk Riders looking to finish off the Ogre Mauler here. Archmage looking to back up. Mountain King is going to be sitting at level 2, maybe able to get to level 3 as it finished. Nope, only a level 4 Forest Troll Berserker is left behind. 33 supply army compared to a 50 supply army. A big difference right there. 747. You can take a look at the gold, and economically speaking, well, Sok is just in a horrible position. He spent so much time trying to set up that expansion early on to get that economic advantage. He ended up just giving extra experience to the undead army, and now at the end of it, he really didn't get anything out of this expansion at all. Level 4 on that Death Knight just around the corner, as it may get enough experience from these guard towers that are left behind. Lich going to be staying at level 3, and the, well, Pit Lord may actually get to level 2 himself, finishing off these last couple of towers. Alright, Illusion Death Knight has made its way in. Mountain King is going to get to level 3 very easily. Are we going to perhaps see a large Thunderclap change in strategy, as Sok is going into massive air? First time catching you live, long time viewer from Norway. Thank you for all the great content. You are welcome. Alright, 55 supply compared to 49 right now. Yep, expansion is pretty much left in shambles. The hero levels are pretty even at this stage, and the only thing that Sok has going for him is that he is dodging taxes. 49 supply over 60, staying in no upkeep, so he is going to get, well, a 3 gold per second advantage, 180 gold per minute. But as long, well, what that really means is, as long as the undead army is able to recover that gold either from creeping larger creep camps because they have a larger army, or if they're able to come out with 3 supply after every fight with the larger army, they should still be fine. First time checking, hey Metaphysics, how are you doing? I'm glad you can tune in and join in. And I realized I already had WarCraft 3 booster. I just never took the time to learn it, so spent a good part of yesterday getting everything done. Wow, Dragonhawk Riders with Cloud gonna go ahead and disrupt all of the healing there. We are gonna quickly see a Scroll of Town portal to get away, Stormbolt onto another ghoul, and there you go, trading a little bit of experience. Scroll of Town portal to take down 2 ghouls and then teleport away. That is not necessarily the best way to use your gold advantage, but then again, well, any battle where you come out ahead slightly because of experience, well, that is a good battle indeed, as Sok now has level 3 on his paladin, opening up, well, level 2, there we go, finally, to his holy light. When do you think Reforged ladder will come? It's already there, just as third-party program. Yep. Everything is all third-party. Alright. Pit Lord currently in a little bit of trouble. We see a large number of Crypt Fiends, and with Crypt Fiends does come web. This is a definite problem. There goes a Holy Light. So Stormbolt Holy Light right there causing major problems. Are we going to see some damage being brought over? Archmage has Orb of Fire. We are going into mass Griffin Riders. And, well, the Griffin Riders, as you know, cannot do any damage at all to those destroyers. And on top of that, the Crypt Fiends with web are going to be able to bring down any of those griffins rather easily, making hit and run tactics of, one of the things that you want with your air units nearly impossible. Pit Lord going to be making its way here. Guard towers, lots of them here ready to try and protect. We are looking at perhaps trying to pick up some additional items. Paladin going to be picking up, or is he going to sell? Yes, sell some items. It sold the Pipe of Insight, picks up a Scroll of Healing as the units are now making their way off to the north again. Crypt Fiends absorbing a little bit of damage, not really that concerned. We are not looking at knights coming in from the barracks either. And so it seems a little bit one-sided here. Mountain King to try and make its way over here. A little bit of damage. We're going to see a Holy Light. There it goes. Double, triple healing wards all need to be cleared up as the Militia now joining in as well. Militia with that Howl of Terror is not doing a lot of damage. In come the Destroyers out of the air here as we see a massive air battle. Griffins versus Destroyers as all the ground units are now trying to back away again. All right. There goes unit after unit. The Crypt Fiends are ending up getting taken down. Archmage does have an Orb of Fire, making healing rather difficult. As you can see, more damage coming through. There goes a Scroll of Town portal in order to try and escape back away. Destroyer's going to finish off some more units, but some Destroyers ended up getting left behind. Destroyers end up getting left behind here, but what can really damage them? Dragonhawk Riders are out as well, and in comes some damage. The Griffin Riders just looking at them saying, I wish we could help. As you can see, the Destroyers now looking to back up. Griffins versus Undead is interesting, yes. And by interesting, you could also say very not meta. You could also say very not effective when you know that your opponent has gone Crypt Fiends and Destroyers. But with that said, oftentimes, if you feel like, you cannot win with a brute force army, consider you're not using enough. And brute force. Mountain King is out in play here. You can see Mountain King also with an Orb of Fire, so the Paladin is the only hero that cannot attack the air right now. Having the Orb of Fire on the Mountain King actually going to add in a lot of potential problems. Do we see Bash? Yes, we do. So we can actually stun down those units. Gyros would help, but in the same time, in the same breath, it is not, well, we'll take workshops first for them to get up and running. All right, going off into the final corner. Is the Archmage, Mountain King, and Paladin going to clear out this last creep camp and get a bit of an advantage going for them? As you can take a look, the air units off in the corner. This is a very, very large creep camp, but has no real way to attack the air. You can take a look. There goes that last unit, Ring of Regeneration on the Paladin. One of my favorite items for the Paladin, as the Paladin is often focused down rather fast, but has no way of really healing itself. Let's come back around. Undead. We have 3 minutes of mining back in the base here. Lich is sitting at level 4. Death Knight sitting at 4. Pit Lord sitting at 3. And I'm trying to determine like the particular strategies that we saw in this matchup. Has the Mountain King even gotten a bash onto a destroyer? If it did, it would change everything up. Even one bash would take down that destroyer, as the remaining Dragonhawk riders would finish them off. Now, what we often know that the human army is rather weak coming out of the gates and really can't handle a lot of large creep camps. So their early advantage was to try and set up an expansion. It then looks like Sok sacrificed that early time, that time that he set up early on, and bought himself time to attack and build up this army that allowed him to creep out some more difficult creep camps. He is behind in terms of experience. That Mountain King still not yet at level 4. It would have been very helpful getting up another level of bash, and we'll see what comes of it. Archmage, Mountain King, Paladin, it is going to be soon be 4-4-3, but the Death Knight and the Lich, once they both get to level 5, that is going to be extremely dangerous, as we know. Level 2 upgrades, level 1 upgrades, all of that in the overlay told. Thank you very much, Booster, for all that you do. 59 supply over 60, going up against 69 over 80. And well, a couple of gyros are off over here now. There's that workshop. A couple of gyros being built. There's 3 gyros, gyrocopters, and we'll see if, or flying machines. They're not gyros. Gyrocopters were in Reign of Chaos, not Frozen Throne. I think Sok is just gonna focus heroes. That could be the case as well. We don't see any banshees. And banshees for that anti-magic shell would give the Death Knight, the Lich, and the Pit Lord a lot more effective hit points. There is only one obsidian statue right now. Oh no, there's the banshees. All right, I take it back. There is currently one banshee in play, a second banshee, and with anti-magic shell, that may be exactly what we need to see. It was changed because of some legal problems, though. Same with other unit names, as far as I know. So Wind Riders versus Wyverns, perhaps Dungeons and Dragons have specific copyrights on everything, like Space Marine for Warhammer. Yeah, it could be copyright issues. All right, 61 supply over 66. Both sides trying to build up the proper army. 73 supply army going up against 53. And this 73 army supply is a little bit more accurate now that you know that the ghouls that are harvesting lumber could actually come off the lumber line and perhaps try and make a bit of a play. Haunted Gold Mine being unsummoned. As we're looking at the destroyers, Crypt Fiends, Banshees now making their move. 73 supply army compared to 53. That is a rather large difference. Griffins were originally going to be called Boeing 747s. Unfortunately, another company got there first. Yeah, you know, I wish we could call them 747s as well. All right, maybe Rock Riders, Griffin Riders. Flying Workshop still cranking out those flying machines. We are going to be ready to go. Flying machines do have a little bit of additional armor, but that is about it. We are looking at the engagement here, ready to go. There's that anti-magic shell that we were expecting, and well, the Death Knight just can say, you know what? Let me just come in here and deal damage, fighting away from all of those towers. I'm going to take down some of these key units as we're going to go ahead and try and fight here. There we go. There's that rain of fire. There's a couple of webs, and the Griffin Riders trying to go after a Crypt Fiend. You can take a look. Anti-magic shell being cast multiple times, and that Griffin Rider that Crypt Fiend just won't get taken down. Getting death coiled and healed up again. Flying machines going after the destroyers again. 68 supply compared to 52 as the units are now making their way back around. Mountain King finally gets up to level 4. Death Knight and Lich both sitting at just shy of 5 as the flying machines may get taken down. Alright, there goes another Crypt Fiend, and we could see an Obsidian statue lost here as well. The Obsidian statue able to slip through 53 hit points, continuing to fight through 4 as we are now looking at 4.7 versus 4.5. Paladin and Paladin also leveling up as well. Lich gets up to level 5 here. We're looking at the flying machines trying to push their way through, getting in a little bit more damage. Griffins are now continuing to pour through here. 37 supply compared to 39, and Sok has somehow flipped the script, using Griffins to go against Banshee with anti-magic shell and destroyers and Crypt Fiends. this battle, just continuing that pressure time and time again. Death Knight getting to level 5 but being forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal, and that initial burst of damage was all it took. 39 supply now compared to 34. Paladin sitting at level 4, Archmage, Mountain King sitting at level 4 as well. As we're going to look at the flying machines making their way to the Haunted Gold Mine. Here we go. We're going to try to see an engagement here. Mountain King does not have enough mana, but does get in a quick bash right there. Flying Machine's going to go ahead and try and back up again, taking down one Obsidian statue. That would be absolutely huge at this point in stage in the game. Stormbolt going after that Crypt Fiend. There it goes. All right, 4.8. Well, there goes an Obsidian statue. Are we going to see level 5 on that Archmage, or perhaps level 5 on the Mountain King? If that does end up happening, this will pretty much be GG. There's only 3 heroes left, 28 supply compared to 39, but the flying machines are pretty much not doing anything, as the Death Knight now still trying to get away. Death Knight sitting at level 5 doesn't have that much mana. We're going to see more damage being brought through as the Pit Lord is just, well, absorbing damage on that anti-magic shell. This okay. Mass Air Human is working out much better than I originally thought it would. The workshop is not upgrading. There is no ground attack from that flying machine, as we're going to see this unsummoned gold mine getting destroyed. All right, ghouls have made their way back across over here. Death Knight, Lich, and Pit Lord. Somehow the Archmage was able, and the human army was able to just not lose any units early on. By not losing any units early on, or perhaps WFZ got greedy, thinking that he could take out units very quickly to get to level 5 first, but that is actually not what ended up happening. By not having level 5 at the start of the fight and not having enough damage, well, things went sideways very quickly. All right, gonna go ahead and try and engage here. Crypt Fiend finally taking some damage. Are we gonna see another anti-magic shell? Yes, we do. Mountain King going to continue to engage here. Flying Machines not anything. 34 compared to 38 supply, but that is a misnomer, as the Flying Machines aren't part of the fight yet. All right, more battle raging on here. Flying Machines still hanging off to the side here. Water Elementals trying to join in. There goes another Crypt Fiend getting taken down, as we see, well, there goes the Black Citadel. Water Elemental trying to dive on in here, getting a little bit of damage, trying to go after the Banshee, as it is able to shift back one Obsidian statue, which should have been focused down by those Griffins, still alive and well. Flying Machine not getting that upgrade, just not enough gold. 34 supply compared to 37. Human falling behind just a little bit now, and this is still anyone's game to have. Sock is trying to rebuild up a gold mine here at what I'll call the 4 o'clock location, as more and more buildings are being unsummoned. By unsummoning buildings, he is able to train up more units. WFZ now taking the army supply advantage once again. All right, 3 Griffins, Flying Machines overhead, unable to do anything. We still, well, peasants now making their way down as well. Town Hall perhaps is going to try to be sped built, as the units are now trying to dive on in. Flying Machines not able to do anything. Mountain King could have easily storm bolted that Crypt Fiend and then tried to finish it off. Archmage, Mountain King, Paladin going to continue to back up again, and still this is just not looking that useful. All right, Flying Machine, 1 Flying Machine, Staff of Sanctuary backed home. How many Staff of Sanctuaries do we have? Only 1, as the Pit Lord is now ready to make a bit of a move. Flying Machines doing only a little bit of light scouting at this stage, as we're looking at ghouls and acolytes moving around here. Are they going to get some easy kills? Is it going to give level 5 to the Mountain King? Yes, it will. No, is it going to? No, it doesn't. Not enough. Not enough experience right there, as the Water Elemental is now in a massive retreat. Fake news, yeah, no, not level 5 right there. Flying Machines now continuing to try to back off. Mass Water Elemental is going to turn back around. Are we going to see a little bit of a split attack? There you have it, a little bit of a split attack right there, and we are going to see the death of that unit. Mountain King, 4 experience shy from that next level. Holy Light trying to save that Griffin Rider. Is it going to end up getting saved? And no, it does not. It ends up getting taken down. 30 supply compared to 36. Battle still going on. Flying Machines getting webbed down, as the Griffin Riders are trying to get back as well. Mountain King does get to level 5 finally, trying to finish off some more units. There's a Howl of Terror affecting the 3 heroes pretty much, and there are only 1 more Griffin left in the air. Triple Water Elemental. Staff of Sanctuary saves that unit there ever so barely, as the Griffin, or the Crypt Fiends, still staying alive. damage still coming across there. There's a big Death Coil to try and save Death Knight, finally getting up to level 5, and then now able to still heal past that Orb of Fire. Mountain King getting in a couple of bashes on that Death Knight. Death Knight could have a bit of problems as well. Death Knight does have a potion of lesser invulnerability, but so much bash still coming into play. Paladin in a massive retreat back. There is a health stone and a ring of regeneration on that unit as we see a quick Stormbolt onto the Lich. Lich could end up getting taken down. No, Death Knight is right there. Does perhaps have a little bit of Death Coil ready to share as we're looking at the heroes just try to focus down more units. Paladin using a potion of lesser invulnerability, still cooldown on that Divine Shield as the Holy Light is right there. Death Knight has fallen at level 5 though, as a quick shift from the Lich to the Death Knight finishes it off. Flying Machine should be brought overhead, can easily finish off that Burrowed Crypt Fiend, and there is the game. Sock ends up taking it. And so fast, and that DK definitely melted much faster than I thought he would. A quick thing to note, now that I think about the Death Knight didn't have any strength-based items. So even though he was level 5, he didn't have a Pure Up of Vitality, he didn't have Circlet of Nobility, Belt of Giant Strength, and with that, well, a level 3 Stormbolt and a level 2 Holy Light, followed by well, ineffective healing from the Obsidian statues because of that Orb of Fire was enough to finish it off. Also, maybe a couple of subsequent bashes made it so that the Mountain King could get in a nice 1-2 hit. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.